Oakland Latinos Unidos. Back on here with a new live feed, part 11, live with Jay. Hopefully, you're gonna be coming on soon and we could talk about different issues. You could ask me any questions like I always do. And, if you have any questions about any of the videos I made recently, let me know. A lot of stuff been happening lately in Oakland and in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? COVID's still going on. Trump is no longer president, but we got new thieves in charge. They're called Biden and what's the other one? Harris. Attacks on Asian people in Oakland and in San Francisco. And so many other things that are going on in the world. You know what I mean? But some of you might be asking me, why am I on a Sunday and not on a Monday and not on a Sunday like I usually am? Because I usually do these live feeds on the weekends. But I was really busy yesterday and I didn't get home till late, so because I didn't do a weekend live feed, I decided to do one today on Monday to make up for that. So hopefully you guys are joining us. If you're on here, leave me a note, say hello, leave me a question, say how you doing, Jose, how you been, que ondas. So how's everybody doing? Hopefully more people will be joining us soon. Like and subscribe, like the video, and yeah, man, keep supporting the Oakland Latinos United channel. Try to bring you more content. I really want to start improving on my videos. You know what I mean? I'm going to start figuring out how to edit it. I don't know how to edit videos. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start looking into it. Like, I could have better content. You know what I mean? And make better videos. Because I kind of been doing it guerrilla style for a long time. Just recording a video without editing it. And just throwing it on YouTube. So I really want to start. I'm going to look into it this year, I promise. I'm going to start looking into how to edit videos and have them have better content and have something a little bit better. I see more people are joining me. Leave me a note. Say hi. How you doing, Jose? Yeah, bro, I can see you like a hood reporter in a professional way. Yeah, man, I just want them to be more professional. I'm just very ignorant when it comes to the internet sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? I know about the internet, but when it comes to editing and shit like that, I'm soy bien pendejo, bro. And I really do want to learn it for my own good. Especially if I want to make more videos in the future. And it could even help me out if I ever want to make like a documentary or make a podcast. I mean, I've been looking into the idea of maybe turning Oakland Latinos United into a podcast, maybe having guests and stuff like that, bringing people from the Bay Area to speak about the hoods or whatever's going on in the Bay Area. But right now, like I said, I'm basically doing Oakland Latinos United the same way I did it when I first started in 2007. Just guerrilla tactics, just recording and showing it to you. You know what I mean? The only thing new is Chris the Fifth is home, Murder Dove King. The only thing different is that I'm doing these live feeds now. I didn't used to do these before, so this is something new. Please like the video, like that these haters won't cut it off. And yeah, man, if you guys have any questions or anything you want me particularly to talk about, leave me a note. You know what I mean? Because this is kind of freestyle. I do these live feeds for you guys, bro. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to talk about or anything maybe I might know about that I can answer, you know what I mean? Ooh, excuse me, I burped right there. But anything you might want to answer or any question you might have about me or about Oakland or about the Bay Area or about whatever. But I guess I'll talk a little bit about the last video I did, and then I'll talk after that a little bit about the video I did before that. So the last video I did was about a string of robberies and attacks that have been going on in Asian neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Especially against elderly Asian people. Meet your tripod, hold the camera, homie. I'm gonna buy a tripod. I had one and it got broken, so I'm that's on my agenda. I'm gonna see if I can buy one next week, cause yeah, I'm holding the camera. I don't have a tripod, and I am gonna get one for sure. I will. They're not very expensive, so I shouldn't make excuses. You know what? Maybe I might just go see if I could buy one tomorrow. So I'm gonna remember that. But yeah, I was talking about the attacks in Chinatown or in around San Francisco against elderly Asian people who have been attacked and robbed. Some dude from he was an old man, like 84 years old, got knocked out randomly in San Francisco. He was from Thailand. And that's messed up. You know what I mean? Some other like J-Cat knocked out some 84-year-old man in downtown Oakland. So it's like these attacks to me, there's just no excuse for it. Whether they're Asian, whether they're black, whether they're Latino, whether they're even white, there's no attack. There's no excuse to attack elderly people, man. Like I said in the video, and I don't take back what I said. When you attack elderly people, I put you on the same standing as a child molester or a fucking rapist, bro. Because you're taking advantage of vulnerable people. Because you see them as a weak target the same way a rapist does, the same way a child molester does a kid. And to me, I got no love for people like that at all. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're Mexican. I don't care if they're white. I don't care even if they're Asian. If you're attacking vulnerable people, being a bully like that, robbing elderly people, like I said, once again, I don't care what color the victims are. I don't play that shit, homie. That shit to me is J-Cat knock lop stuff. You know what I mean? And that don't fly with me at all. You know what I mean? Just like I don't agree with people attacking black people either. I don't agree with paleteros and eloteros being attacked and robbed. You know what I mean? So I can't. I know some people in my comments said that, the Asians are buying up properties in our neighborhood and blah blah blah. So does that justify us attacking and killing Asian people, or black people attacking and killing Asian people? No, it doesn't justify anything. That just creates more problems. Yes, I understand the Asian community is looked at as the model minority by white people, and they have been accepted by white society, especially white men, because white men have a very creepy fetish for Asian women. You know what I mean? So Asians have been kind of whiteified in some ways by American society. And I think blacks and Latinos sometimes look at them and be like, wow, you know what I mean? Then people are selling out to the white people and they don't give a shit about us. And I think that's what creates resentment sometimes and racism against them. You know what I mean? Because, black people and Latinos, and Native Americans, we've been dealt a bad hand in this country and in this society. And so have Asians. Asians had a horrible history, if you know their history. The Asians were lynched. Asians were burned. Asians were prevented from coming to the country. Read about the Chinese Exclusion Act. During the war against the Japanese, Asians were put in internment camps. Asians were attacked on the streets. You know what I mean? Japanese were put in internment camps. Asians were put in or work didn't really that back today, so fucked over seeing. So Asians went through shit. The Asians do have a pretty hard history in the United States as well. That's the thing that we don't talk about. You know what I mean? And especially I would say the lower caste Asians, they have it pretty bad still. Like some of the Vietnamese, some of the Cambodians, some of the they call them the Hmongs. Usually those people are hood people. They're the hood, Asians, basically. You also have the Filipinos, too. Some of the Filipinos grow up in the hoods, too. So to me, it's just like attacking elderly people and trying to justify it. Well, Asians are this and that. That's not cool. That's just not cool. That's not cool in my book. I don't accept that. I don't agree with that. Nor will I would never accept nothing like that, and I would never justify anything, any kind of behavior like that, because that's not what Oakland Latinos United, at least me personally, that's not what I'm about. I understand we can't sing Kumbaya, you know what I mean, in society and hold hands and live happily ever after. I know that life is more harder than that. Life is more difficult than that. It's for the same reason why Chicanos, we kill each other over Norte and Sur or Border Brothers or gangs or or drugs. The same reason why black people kill each other over hoods and turfs and dope and Crips and Bloods is we have a messed up mentality. We've been dealt a bad hand by colonialism, by the enslavement of black people. We've been dealt a bad hand when the Spaniards landed on the shores of Mexico and landed in the shores of the Bay Area, which is something we forget. And they started forcing us to believe in their Catholic religion, forcing us to speak Spanish, forcing us to bow down to them. So we've been screwed over for a long time, and I understand that. I know my history. I know where I come from. Yes, I'm from East Oakland. Whatever. I'm from up north, from Northern California. Okay, but I'm still raza, and I know my history. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And we have to understand. I understand we've been done bad, man. But Malcolm X and some of the Black Panthers said it best. You cannot fight hate with hatred. It just cannot happen. You can't justify racism with racism. It just doesn't work. And it makes sense why it doesn't work. Because once you start justifying racism with racism, that's when more racism is created, more hatred is created, more bigotry is created. You know what I mean? And that's something we need to realize. That, yeah, I don't have a problem with the Asian community. I don't have a problem with the black community. I don't have a problem with other Chicanos. I don't even have a problem with Sureños or Norteños or Border Brothers or Latin Kings or whatever. If you're cool with me and it's respect, it's mucho respeto, homie. That's my whole thing, bro. You know, I'm all about the betterment of our raza. I'm not about nothing else. I'm not about promoting gang culture. I'm not about promoting pimps. I'm not about promoting drug culture in Oakland. I'm not about promoting Felix Mitchell or Mickey Mo or any of those guys. And I have made videos about that stuff before. But I always end my videos on this note. I always end my videos saying that if you live this lifestyle, the consequences are going to be bad. I never glorify any of the gang stuff in my video. You know what I mean? And I have made videos about Norteños. I have made videos about Felix Mitchell. I have made videos about the pimps and about Too Short and about other people before. And, you know, you just got to understand that that lifestyle doesn't take you anywhere, you know? And, yeah, I don't glorify none of that shit. I'm all about the betterment of our raza, of our people. And that starts with us loving ourselves, with us having respect for each other and our community. And that starts with us having respect for others, whether they be Chinos or Asians, whether they be blacks or Africanos, whether they be white people, whether they be Hindus, whether they be Pacific Islanders, whoever. You feel me? And that's, yeah, man, that's just basically my little rant about all that BS that's been going on. I just hope the Asian community in Oakland and San Francisco organize against and call out these attacks, because I feel it's just not cool. It's not cool. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you try to slice it, it's just not cool. It's like the old saying goes, you could take a piece of shit and put sprinkles on it and put perfume on it and make it look beautiful, but at the end of the day, it's still a piece of shit. Think about that and reflect about that. You know what I mean? But, do a Nat Turner video. Maybe. I gotta study a little bit more about Nat Turner, but I have heard of him. That'd be nice. I'm gonna do some more videos about Chicano heroes, too. Because we don't talk about a lot of the California heroes like Tiburcio Vasquez. We don't talk about Joaquin Murrieta, who was the original Zorro. We don't talk about Procopio. We don't talk about, you know, some of the people that fought against the American colonization of California. We don't talk about the Alones, who are the native people of the Bay Area. You know, there's a lot of things we don't talk about. You know what I mean? We don't talk about that the native people of the Bay Area were enslaved and killed by the Spaniards, by the mission system. And we don't talk about how like genocide happened right here where we live, not in Mexico, not in Germany with the Jews, not in the South with African Americans. It happened right here as well, in Oakland, in Fremont, in San Jose, when the Spaniards arrived here in the 1700s with the De Anza Trail, the De Anza expedition. The Native American people were decimated in the Bay Area. The Ohlone, who were the native people of this land. Muwekma, Huchin, whatever you want to call it, Chochenyo, which those were the names that were here before. We're too busy working. I feel that. We're too busy working, living in this expensive ass Bay Area that we could barely afford to live here. You know, I'm only in the Bay Area because I'm part owner of a property. And that's the only reason I'm here. You know, if not, I don't know where I'd be, you know. I would be struggling. But if anybody got any questions or anything to add about what I was talking about the attacks on Asia, once again, back again, Jose. If anyone has anything they want to add about what I was talking about the attacks that have been going on in the Bay Area, or about anything else, drop me a note, drop me a line. You know what I mean? Because I like to converse with you guys too, and I like you guys to add on to the conversation or the topic. You might disagree with me. You might disagree. Somebody called Gia says, "What's up? ¿Qué ondas?" Joanna Leonor. What's up to Joanna Leonor? What's up to Nathan of Show? I don't know if I wrote it right. What's up to Mr. Tuan Prince? What's up to all of you who are out here joining me? Like I said, if you have any questions, be sure to like this video. Like that, YouTube won't stop it or hate on it. But if you guys have any questions or you want to add on anything about what I was talking about, you know, leave me a note. Let me know what's up, man. Throw me a little line, and you know, I like to engage with you guys. That's why I do these live feeds, because I like to engage with my public, con mi público, como dicen. But yeah, man, yesterday I was in Oakland, and I had a homie from Modesto. He was kicking it with me, and I showed him around the town. I gave him my own barrio tours. I took him around the 60s. I took him around the Doves, the 30s, Funktown. I showed him the Deep. He was like, damn, Oakland's a trip. He told me that the hood in Modesto was West Side Modesto, I think. But, yeah, man, I was showing him around Oakland, around the town. But, yeah, man, like I said, if anyone got anything they want to say or add on to the conversation I was talking about, drop me a line. You know what I mean? What's up to all of you who are joining me? I see we got some people on here, you know. But, yeah, to me, like I said, you know, it's just JCat stuff. You know, there's a lot of crazy people out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of crazy people out there. More so than even when I was young, it seems like it. I could be wrong, but it just seems like there are some crazy people out there. There are unos locos, like we say in Spanish, out there, man. I mean, I see dudes out there talking to themselves, walking around yelling at themselves. I see dudes walking around with their pants down. I see dudes taking a shit everywhere and piss everywhere. It's crazy, man. I just see folks doing some off the wall stuff, man. I don't know if it's the drugs. I don't know what it is. Lack of mental health services. But there are unos locos out there, man. Seriously. More so than even I remember. I mean, I remember there were crazies even around when I was young. You know, in downtown Oakland, you would see crazy fools. Where if you go to Frisco, you would see them like in the Tenderloin. You know what I mean? But man, I know locals out there. You know? I don't know if you guys notice the same thing. Oh, I got more messages. Bay Area is super different. What I remember to be in the 90s. Don't watch the movie The Principal. I do. I made a video about the Principal. Is it poverty or drogas? Okay, let me go back to it. So, The Principal, I actually made, and you could go back into my videos. I made it about a couple months ago. I made a filming location of the movie The Principal. And someone said, is it the drugs or the poverty? It's a little bit of both, bro. It's a little bit of both, and it's a little bit of both, and it's lack of services for poor people. You know what I mean? Lack of what do you call it? Services. Mental health services. There you go. But yeah, I made a video about that. Someone said, "What do you think about the original, the OG del Rancho? Are you talking about the OG San Antonio, Rancho San Antonio, which was the name of the Peralta Rancho in Oakland?" I mixed feelings about it. Rancho San Antonio was a land grant that was given to the Peralta family who were out in San Jose originally, and it was basically the whole city of Oakland, Berkeley, all the way to about the border of El Cerrito, Albany too. It was called Rancho San Antonio, and it was a big land grant that was given to the Peralta family, and all the sons and daughters and yeah, sons and daughters of the Peraltas had little ranchos around San Antonio, Rancho San Antonio, and oh, here's a YouTuber named OG del Rancho. I don't know if I've ever heard of him. Where's he from? The only ones I've heard so far that are Chicanos, I heard that guy Gunners Collective. I've been watching some of his stuff, and I watched Cholo Juan, I think is his name. I've seen some of his stuff. But as far as I thought you were talking about the old rancho in Oakland. But a lot of my family is from the Bay, but most of them have moved to somewhere else they can't afford to live in the gentrification. Yeah, man, that's happening to a lot of people. A lot of people can't afford it out here. It's just so goddamn expensive, you know, and they end up moving to the Central Valley or to, you know, another state or to Southern California or somewhere else, you know. And it's just crazy, man. It's gotten really, really expensive. Even in the fucking ghettos and the barrios, it's hell expensive, you know what I mean? You know, if you want to live like in a hood or something, it's even expensive there. I like Sunny Check, Spirit Real Talk. That's our news to hear. I like Sunny Checks. Who's Sunny Checks? I don't know if I've ever heard of him. I gotta start looking into it, man, because I do like the fact that there's more Chicanos and more raza on YouTube. Because, yeah, it is. It is. It is hard because of Silicon Valley. That's for damn sure. The tech boom destroyed it. Well, hopefully the tech boom is dying out and more people leave and the prices go down. That's all I could pray for. But you know, there didn't used to be a lot of Chicanos, man. I was the first Chicano on YouTube. I was one of the first. You know what I mean? I started this in 2007. There was no raza on YouTube back then. There was just maybe a couple. You could count them with your hands. And I do like to see the different opinions on here now. You know what I mean? And he's Nicaraguan. Where's he from? Is he from the Bay Area or de donde es? But they live in the Oakland Hills. They view from the Coliseum, the Gasca family. All time. But bruh, do you anybody remember the 4 liters Shasta sodas? Yeah, I remember that. But somebody said L.A. It's all good. Oh, okay, that's where he's from L.A. Okay, yeah, I haven't seen him. I'll look into him. I'll write down those names and look into their content. But to me, I want to see more raza do positive stuff too. To be about the raza, to be about the empowerment of our community. You know, I don't just want to see. I don't just want to see stuff. I don't want to see stuff that just promotes gang violence and promotes drugs and prisons, because that, you know, that's not what we need as people, man. That's the stuff that destroyed our community. But Shasta, well, if you're talking about Shasta, I mean the Shasta factory's in Hayward, over there off of Industrial. So there is a Shasta. There is a Shasta. Shasta's made in the haystack in Hayward, Califas. You know what I mean? Do I listen to Baby Gas? Baby Gas is. He's more of a new school rapper, and I'm old school. I like the old school stuff, but I've heard a few of his things, and I follow him on Instagram, and he's cool. I mean, I can't hate on the brother. He's doing what he got to do. He's Salvadorian and Mexican like me, And it is what it is. What does it mean to represent Raza though? Because I'm only half Mexican. I stay on West A Street. Hello? Oh, no, this thing got stuck for a minute. Shasta County, California. I live in Butte County. I'm close to Shasta County. I've been somewhere up there one time. Someone said, what does it mean to represent Raza though? I don't know if it's. Alright, this thing got stuck for a minute. I don't know what the heck is going on. It got stuck for a little bit, so hopefully I'm back on. So someone said what I wanted to answer that question. Someone said, what does it mean to represent Raza? To me, it's about representing your history, being proud of who you are, respecting your community, respecting other Chicanos. You know what I mean? And having love for your community and for your people, man. Not just being stuck on gang stuff or prison or drugs or getting killed and promoting the destruction of our community, man, because the gang stuff really did destroy our community, whether we want to accept it or not. You know, it really messed up our community, just like drugs, just like the crack era destroyed the black community. And yeah, you should stream. You should use StreamYard so people can join your stream, bro. What's StreamYard? Oh, you mean like people could talk to me live? I mean, sometimes I do. I do it on Instagram, and sometimes I have people join me. But it's just a betterment of community. Can't you do that on here though, or no? Can you talk to it? No, I guess not. I don't know. I'm new to doing these live streams on Facebook, on YouTube. I mean, I'm sorry, but on IG sometimes I do live feeds and yeah, East Oakland, East 14th. You mean international? No, I'm just fucking with you. International Boulevard, brother. But the big East 1-4. But yeah, man. It's just about me. I'm all about La Raza and empowerment of our community, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, what do you think about Victory Outreach? Oh man, you put me on the spot there, man. Victory Outreach, man. What do I think about them? Well, I'll start off by saying I'm not a religious person, so let's just leave it at that. I don't consider myself a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I don't believe in Abraham. So I've been blocked again, like I always do. But I was saying I don't believe in Abrahamic religions. So I don't believe. I'm not Jewish. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not Christian either. Um, as far as Victory Outreach goes, I have mixed feelings about them. I've heard a lot of horror stories about them, but I've heard some good things about them too. I've heard that they have helped some people get out of jail and stay out of trouble. But I've also heard people say that a lot of people in there were gangbanging. A lot of people were continuing doing the same bad habits they were doing out in the streets and weren't really trying to change their lives. To me, they're just a church group that's trying to make money. You know what I mean? They're just like the rest of what I call the poverty pimps in a way. They come into the community and they want to spread religion. If you look at it, look at East Oakland. Look at how many churches there are on every corner. You know what I mean? Look at how many churches there are in every corner in Oakland. Black churches, Mexican churches, Catholic churches, Guatemalan churches. You know what I mean? There's hella churches everywhere. You know, and what do they really do for the community? That's my question. What do these churches really do to uplift black people, brown people, poor people? You know what I mean? Now, yes, some churches help. Some churches help the community. But you know, gotta remember Christianity was brought to our people by the sword. Our indigenous ancestors who were the Aztecas, the Mayas, the Incas, you know, the Purepecha, the Tarahumaras, the Alonis, you know what I mean? The Tonga, the Yukuts, all those tribes were forced to believe in Christianity by the sword. And that's a fact, by the Spaniards. So Victory Outreach to me is just another church group, man. Unless they can show that they do more than preach. You feel me? Is there any Dominicans in Oakland? Not very many, but one of the few. I actually dated her. I dated a Dominican girl for a minute. They do lowrider shows back in the days, though, too. I don't remember. I remember they used to do those plays. You know what I mean? They used to do those plays like Cold City Dreams and The Ghetto and Duke of Earl. I remember that back in the days. Damn, 38 Lokes, South Sac, Iraq. Saludos, big homie. My brother was from 36, but one love to all. This thing is hating again. And it's acting weird. Hold on. So it's hating again. But yeah, Victory Outreach, they used to do those plays, I remember, back in the days. One love to the 38 Lokes, to the 36 Lokes, to the East 7th Lokes, to Jingletown, Quince, 41st, Mitchell Street, all them homies. I grew up with all them homies back in the days. But yeah, man. So what's going on with everybody? So what do you think about the girl who asked me about Victory Outreach? What do you think about them? Never been to Chico, but I have a homie from Oakland who actually bought some properties in Chico. But I've never been up there. I've been, the farthest I've been out that way, I've been to Yuba City and Marysville. She said scammers. Just a church group, man. I mean, that's all it is, man. That's where I'm from. Puro Chico, Holmes. Going up for the big C, ese. I'm messing with you. You know one thing that tricked me out about Victory Outreach? When I was young, I lived in Sacramento for 2 years, and I went to high school in Sacramento for 2 years. To a high school, when I was in high school, I lived in Sacramento. I think I said this before. I lived there 2 years, and I went to a high school called Hiram Johnson, which was in South Sacramento. And at that school, because you got to remember, there's separation of church and state. So religious groups, technically, it's against the law for them to go into the schools and preach about religion. Well, Victory Outreach used to be at my school all the time. You know what I mean? They used to be there all the time. I don't know how they got on campus, but they used to be there all the time. You know what I mean? Hiram Johnson's the homies with 3 different barrios. Victory Outreach pastors put me on pockets when I couldn't contribute. I believe it. But Sacramento, well, I can't remember, bro. That was so long ago. I think when I was there, the only barrios I remember there were those guys called the Diamonds or something like that. Diamonds. And some fools called Frank Loans. I remember them, but I'm from the town, bro. I didn't know none of that. I didn't care about any of that. I knew I wasn't going to stay in Sacramento, so I didn't even get involved with nobody out there. I just went to school, shut the hell up, did my work, and came back to the Bay Area when I had the chance to. That was it. So I didn't get to really immerse myself in Sacramento culture like that. But I remember Frank Loans, Diamonds, and there was a black gang called the Creek Mob. The Creek. You know what I mean? But as far as like who was from where and what was what, I didn't know, bro. I'm not from Sacramento, so to me it didn't mean nothing to me, bro. I just lived there for a couple of years, and I came back to I came back. A lot of people from the Bay Area have moved to Sacramento now. Yeah, back then I was there in '94. There were hardly anybody from the Bay Area in Sacramento. Everyone I met was like Sacramento, Sacktown. You know what I mean? I was like one of the few dudes from Oakland there. I remember it was me, this black girl, and this Asian dude. We were the only people that I knew of that at least I met at that high school that was from Oakland there. You know what I mean? Yeah, someone said it was a cow town back then. There wasn't much there. I mean, it wasn't a little town, but I remember it wasn't as built up as it is now. You know what I mean? Like I remember in the Thomas area was fields, bro. It was all fields as far as the eye could see. You know what I mean? That whole Natomas, North Sacramento area was all fields, bro. There was nothing out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Sacramento police were pretty bad, man. So was the Sacramento sheriff. I didn't like those motherfuckers, man. But, I came back to the town, bro. Sacramento just wasn't for me. And no disrespect to homies from Sacramento, but it's a cool place to visit, but it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, there wasn't that many people. I hear now there's even fools claiming Bay Area hoods out in Sacramento. I don't know how true that is, but that's what a couple folks told me. I have no clue. You know? Now it's called Iraq, Southside Iraq. I mean, they had hoods, I remember. What hoods I remember hearing about Sac when I was out there. I remember I used to hear about the Gardens. Used to hear about the Garden Block a lot. Oh, yeah, Mac Road. I remember hearing about Mac Road. Meadowview. I used to hear more about the black neighborhoods than anything. I used to hear about, like, Valley High, Garden Block, Oak Park. The only Mexican gangs I ever heard of were the Frank Loans and those Diamond dudes. And I think I heard of something called VNS, Barrio North Sac or something like that. That was like the only real things I heard about Sacramento, you know. But you gotta remember, this is 1994. This is a long time ago. Now, I do remember there was a really nice mall in downtown. Oh yeah, Del Paso Heights. I heard of that too. But I remember there was a really nice mall in downtown Sacramento called the Downtown Plaza, and they used to have something called the Thursday Market. You know what I mean? The Thursday night market. I mean, someone said all those black hoods you mentioned have northern hoods from the same area. Same in Oakland. Same in Oakland. A lot of black hoods had Nathaniels or Border Brothers. So it's just the same thing, bro. No different. Black and brown people always live in the same areas, bro. That's just how it is. Yeah, the Downtown Plaza. I remember that spot. They used to have the Thursday market. I don't know if any of you guys are old enough to remember that. But yeah, I could talk about old school Oakland too. I remember the Eastmont Mall. I remember the old Merrick's Bakery. I remember, when International was East 14th. you know. Hey, what's the 6'9" Bill? Bloods or Crips? Ain't no Crips and Bloods in Oakland. 6'9" Bill's a 6'9" Bill. They never had Crips and Bloods in the town. The only thing they had in the town that was Crips they had some Asian gangs, I remember, in the Dubs. They had the Oaktown Crips and the Oakland Junior Crips, I remember back in the days. But I never heard of no blacks claiming Crip or Blood in Oakland. Oakland was always like hoods and turfs and pimps, and you know how the town is. You feel me? Oakland, Vallejo, San Francisco was always more like hoods and turfs. At least the black dudes, you feel me? You know what I mean? But 6'9" Bill was big back in the days. Yeah, it became big when Felix Mitchell was there in the 80s, when it became the 6'9" Mob. But I remember the original 6'9" Bill, hell yeah. Over there by the Coliseum, that place was grimy. Does anybody remember the Casa Faranga projects over there on 85th? Kind of by the railroad tracks? I remember those too. The old ones. Yeah. Who remembers the big? I wonder if homegirl Joanna Leonore remembers this. Who remembers the big gas tank? They used to be like by the. Oh, I'm trying to say, Joanna Leonore. Do you remember that big gas tank? That used to be right there off of 50th, kind of near the Coliseum Flea Market or the Coliseum Drive-In. You remember that? You used to be able to see it all over Oakland back in the days. That big gas tank. That was way back in the days. If you remember that, then you're old school. Or if you remember the when the Coliseum Flea Market was the Coliseum Drive-In, that's old school too. You feel me? Or the Plaza Theater. Anybody remember the Plaza Theater, the old Mexican theater over there in Funktown on East 12th by 7th Ave? You know what I mean? That's hella old school. I used to go there with my parents to see like Mexican movies when I was a little kid. That's like back in the day shit. Yeah. What about Mexican restaurants? Is anybody what's your favorite Mexican restaurant in Oakland? I'm curious. Mine's are Otayes, El Zamorano, Jalisco's for the carnitas. I like Huaracha Azteca. I like the taco truck on 29th. On 29th and East 14th, right there where the Goodwill is. In Sinaloa, it's pretty good. You feel me? The one over there on 22nd and East 14th. That's some of my favorite spots in the town to get Mexican food. I'm curious what if you guys know the Mexican spots in Oakland. What's your favorite spot? Jesus, did you ever what did you say? Otaya sucks now since the owner got killed. Not the same. Oh yeah, I remember when the owner got killed. It's still all right. I've been there a couple times. Did you ever go to the roller skating place? Which one? Which roller skating place? I'm trying to remember which one because there used to be one in Alameda a long time ago, and there used to be one I think in San Leandro a long time ago. I don't remember. Been a long time. Refresh my memory. But I know you were remembering places like on 72nd. 72nd. Damn, I don't remember that spot. There was a roller skating rink there? Big T, ya no me acuerdo. On 72nd. So that's over there by Toland's liquor store, right? You know what I mean? That's over there like by 71st. Yeah, I know where that's at. But I don't remember a roller skating rink there. What year was that? You know, I remember the old Mexican clubs though. Remember we were talking about it like Fandango Latino and Flankers and the big when they used to have the big Mexican dances and hip hop dances on in at the Eastmont Mall where the Mervins used to be. I remember that. 85, 86. Yeah, no me acuerdo. Yeah, I don't remember that spot, the roller skating ring. I remember there was a Pioneer Chicken up there. And there used to be a grocery store called MB Market. You remember those? MB Market. That's hella old school if you remember that. 'Cause I remember my mom used to go there sometimes. And there used to be another one in the Doves called Food Farm. Remember that? It was right by the McDonald's in like 25th and East 14th across the street from like Jack in the Box. That's old school right there. If you're from the old school. Yeah, I've been to Lake Merritt many times. I was just there not too long ago. Sometimes I go walk around there. 38 and East 12, the Mexico. Which one? Mexico Latino? Wow. La Mexicana you're probably talking about. Oh yeah, the indoor flea market with the I remember when the indoor flea market was you're talking about the movie theater, right? But yeah, Food Farm was a grocery store. Not the movie theater, god damn it. The indoor flea market used to be the hospital, the Oakland Hospital across the street. It was a hospital, then it turned into the indoor flea market. That was back in the days. You're taking me way back. And there used to be a Standard Paint. Remember that? Right across the street from the McDonald's. It was right across the street. So in the McDonald's parking lot, there used to be a grocery store there. It was called Food Farm. And my mom used to go there all the time. You know what I mean? Saw too short and right again pulling into someone's driveway. You know what? I've never seen Too Short. My homeboy said he met him at the Marriott in downtown Oakland because my homie works at the Marriott. He's a cook there. He's a chef there. They're right there on Broadway. So my homie told me he met him there. You know, but I don't think I've ever met him before. The old skating rink we on 74th and East 14th. Yeah, I don't remember it, man. I wasn't really much of a roller skater. Oh, I remember one that you guys will remember. I remember the castle, Malibu, the castle right there by the Coliseum. I remember that one. I don't remember the skating ring. Well, I didn't really skate. I do remember there was a skating ring in Alameda, though. 'Cause you got to remember, I grew up on East 7th Street, right where the Alameda Bridge is. So the there used to be one in Alameda. I remember off of Park Street when I was hella little. The Oakland Hospital, yep, right there on 27th and East 14th. The Malibu, yep, that was way back in the days. You remember the place for carnitas, El Jalisco's over there on like 17th Ave and East 14th, where they used to get like buche and carnitas and nopales. That place used to be hella good. Or that store called Miramontes. You remember that spot? Yeah, it's still there. You remember that little store? It was called Miramontes. It used to be like down the street from there. That was like way back in the days. Yeah, man. So who's up on here? Drop me a note. Say what's up. Say how you been, Jose. What's going on? Curtis Diggler. I never heard of him. Kurt Diggler? Is he trying to be like Dirk Diggler? Well, yeah, man. Talking about old school memories. Talking about the past. Oakland. I remember the sideshows on yeah, not many Mexican stuff back then. We grew like the Mission. Yeah, I mean there wasn't as much, but there was stuff here out here back then. You know, but now there's like Mexican places everywhere in Oakland. But yeah, back then most of the Mexican places were mostly around Fruitvale, and some of them like in the Doves. And in Funktown there used to be a lot of Mexican businesses when I was a kid. There used to be Tijuana, the Tijuana Taqueria down there. There used to be El Altamar. You know what I mean? Y'all heard of Mac Dre? No, I've never heard of Mac Dre. You grew up with Popeye in them? Popeye. Who's Popeye? From the hood? Yeah, it's all over. You remember La Fortuna? La Fortuna used to be on Fruitvale, the little Mexican store back in the days. On Fruitvale by the Alpines. That's hella old school. Oh, what about Los Mexicanos Market? That used to be the only big Mexican grocery store. The one on East 7th and not East 7th on High Street and East 14th. El Nopal, yeah. You know what? I was too little to go to El Nopal, but my dad used to play there because my dad was a musician. El Nopal used to be on Seminary and East 14th. I remember that spot. My dad was a musician. He used to actually play there at that spot back in the days at El Nopal. I remember it. And there was another bar on Fruitbound Foothill called the Three Monkeys. And across the street there used to be a club called Faces. I don't know if you guys remember that. You know what I mean? Faces used to be across the street. That was back in the days. I'm thinking it way back. Way back. So, yeah, I'm reminiscing about Oakland memories. But, yeah, man. I'm glad we're getting more people on here. If anyone wants to drop anything and drop some game. Y'all ever been to Hayward before? Come on, dude. You asking some dumb questions, bro. Of course I've been to Hayward millions of times. I live in Oakland, bro. Hayward's like 10 minutes from here. I've been to Oakland. I've been to Dakota. I've been to San Leandro. I've been to Union City. I've been to San Jose. I've been to Richmond, San Francisco, A Street, Tennyson. I've been all them places. I've been to Campo Ramos. All of it. You know what I mean? I've been to East Oakland, West Oakland, North Oakland. I even been to parts of Oakland that most people don't even know about. You know what I mean? I've been to Montclair, Claremont. I've been to the Oakland Hills, Piedmont. I've been all over those places. Grand Lake area. Oh, Red Sea. I remember that. That used to be on 38, right? On 38 in Foothill. Yeah, but that's crazy you brought up El Nopal. My dad used to play music there back in the days. How big is the Oakland Mall? We don't have a mall anymore. We used to have a mall, the Eastmont Mall. It was somewhat big, but it wasn't that big. It didn't last though, because people were stealing and running amok there, stealing shit and fucking around. So they closed the mall. So now Oakland don't got a mall. All they got left is what? Gonzales and Adidas and an AutoZone. Oh yeah, they made the Montgomery Ward, not Montgomery Wards, the Mervins into the concert hall. Remember the old Montgomery Wards building on 29th and East 14th? That big ass building back in the days. That's the old school. But yeah, man. Yeah, but I've been to Hayward. I know the Haystack. So where all the people buy their Raiders shit out there. At the other malls, you heard the Lake Merrick Nostet's Monster. I've heard stories about that. Supposedly there's a swamp monster in Lake Merritt. I've heard about it. I've never seen it. Spent many times at Lake Merritt. I never seen shit. People out here buy their stuff either in Emeryville or at Vella's Locker over there in Hangenberger, or they go to the malls in San Leandro or Hayward, and that's where they get their Raiders gear, or they get it in the hood. You know what I mean? You got to drive all the way to Concord to get some Raiders gear, all the way to Hayward. But the Raiders ain't even in the town no more, so they suck. You know what I mean? I missed not Eastmont, Hilltop Mall. That used to be a really nice mall back in the days in Richmond. I used to go there all the time. Back in the days. But they shut it down. The rich town. But yeah. But yeah, I've actually been to your own town, Yuba City and Marysville. I've been out there. Very flat. Very, very flat. You know what I mean? It's a small little place. He said, I don't give a fuck. That's good. How does that make you feel? But, yeah, man. I've been all over the world, son. Ya está llorando, se está enojando. Pero pregunta unas pendejadas. But, yeah, pobrecito, though. Pobrecito, maybe I should leave him alone. You know what I mean? Continue asking. And I know he's probably a youngster. Probably never been nowhere. I've been all over, son. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Mexico. I've been to El Salvador. I've been to the Midwest. I've been to the East Coast. I've been to Texas. I don't give a fuck where the Raiders... Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you were talking shit to me. I was going to say, okay. Okay, yeah, I don't care either. I'm not a Raiders fan. You know. The Raiders actually originally from Oakland, though. People think that the Raiders are from LA, but the Raiders are from Oakland. They were created in Oakland. The thing was that they had an owner who was a retard who kept wanting to take the team all over the place. So, because he wanted to be greedy and stupid. So, that's why the Raiders kept going back and forth from Oakland to here and there. But yeah, 27. It's cool. I'm 43. I'm a little bit older. So yeah, man, I just want to pose a question. How's everybody been? I'm gonna get off soon, so if you guys want to ask me any further questions, anything I could answer, feel free and do it. Why I only have 2 hours left Super Bowl. I stopped sponsoring since the last Super Bowl. I'm only 2 hours away from Oakland. Yeah, man. So if anyone had any questions, or anything, I want to ask you guys a question actually. What do you guys think of some of the Chicano YouTubers that are on here now? You know what I mean? There's various out there. Do you think they have good content? Do you think they should come up with better content? Do you feel that they promote too much gang violence or prison stuff? Do you feel there should be more Chicanos or more Raza promoting unity and promoting positive stuff? What's your take on it? I'm just curious. If you guys do listen to other Raza or Chicano YouTubers, I'm just curious what you think can improve. You know, how often do I chat? I do this every weekend. Usually I do it on Saturdays and Sundays. The only reason I'm doing it on Monday is because this weekend I was extremely busy and I didn't have a chance to do it, so I made up for it today on Monday to not let anybody down because I know people have gotten used to my live streams because I've been doing them for like 2 months already and I do them every weekend. So usually they're on Saturday or Sunday, sometimes Friday, sometimes. But I was really busy this weekend, so I didn't have a chance to do one. So that's why I'm doing it today. But I was asking you guys, because I've been watching a lot of other Chicano and Raza YouTubers. I've been watching American Cholo, Cholo Juan, Gunners Collective, and a whole host of others. And I'm just curious, what do you think about a lot of these guys that are on here? Do you think some of them promote too much gang stuff? Do you think some of them promote too much prison stuff? Do you think some of them promote negativity, or do you think a lot of them are actually doing something positive? Some are just in it for the money because they know they're getting paid. Others, like OG Sunny, is very positive. You can feel that he's genuine. Oh yeah, OG Sunny. He's a dude that used to be with American Cholo, right? I've seen some of his stuff. I don't do it for money. If you notice, everything I do is free. You know what I mean? I don't even monetize my videos. I probably am gonna start doing it somewhere down the line once I improve my videos. But I've been doing this since 2007, and I've never did it for money. You know what I mean? But I've been doing this since 2007, and I've never asked anybody for anything. And I'm not in it for clout. I'm not in it to be recognized by anyone. I do it because of the love of my people, the love of my city, the love of my community, and my love of the Bay Area. I'm from the Bay Area. I'm a Chicano. I'm a Raza from the Bay Area. And I feel I want to give out the Bay Area Raza Chicano experience because I feel it's never talked about. I feel when people talk about Oakland, they just talk about the black community, but they don't talk about the Latino community. And it's kind of left out. So my whole thing is to bring out our community in Oakland and the Bay Area. And it's no disrespect to the black community. It's no disrespect to the Asian community. It's no disrespect to the white community. I'm just about my raza and my people. And there's plenty of us in Oakland, and we've been here for a long time. We've been here since back in the days, and we're going to continue being here. Says gangs are more glorified from the younger generation nowadays. Yeah, that's true. It's true. But you see, the youngsters today, they didn't grow up in the era we grew up in. I grew up in the 90s and 80s. You know what I mean? I grew up back when Oakland was crazy. You know what I mean? When you could get killed just walking down the street in Oakland. You know what I mean? I grew up in the era where you walk down the streets and fools will hit you up. Like, where you from, fool? What you claim? You know what I mean? I grew up around all that stuff. I grew up in the era where if you wore red, the Border Brothers would blow your head off. And if you wore blue or black, the Norteños would blow your head off. I grew up in that reality. You know what I mean? But I grew up in a different era, and it was no joke back then. People used to get killed left and right. There used to be drive-by shootings, shootouts. You know what I mean? I grew up in the era when black dudes were killing each other like crazy over crack, over hoods, over turfs. I grew up in a crazy era. You know, I grew up. Somebody said, "How do you know who Mac Dre is if you're from Oakland?" Bro, Mac Dre's from Vallejo. Vallejo's only 15, 20 minutes from here, bro. I used to live in Vallejo. I lived all over the place. So, yeah, I know who Mac Dre is. I know who Mac Mall is. I know who E40 is. I know who Little Bruce is. I know who Partner Deuce and Baby Bash is. I know who the Funky Aztecs are. The Young D-Boys. I could go on and on of Vallejo rappers. I've been, Es que yo he vivido en muchos lugares. I've lived in, I'm from the town. I'm from Oakland, but I've lived in Sac. I've lived in Vallejo. I lived in Richmond before. I lived in Sacramento, like I said. And I've been around. You know what I mean? The V count. I know about Sacramento rappers too, like X Rated and Brother Lynch and all them cats. Sibo, you know. I even know about some of the Hayward rappers, like the Darkroom Familia, which actually started in Hayward. And I used to listen, Spice One's from Hayward. There used to be another rap group called Down and Dirty. Yeah, I said I didn't know him, but I was joking with you. One I listened to, he's from Fruitvale. I try to get like them Black because of one. Yeah, man. There was a Chicano rapper in Fruitvale back in the days named MC Man. Back in the days, you know. But he rapped actually with Drew Down and Richie Rich, you know. But yeah, man, I've been all around, bro. I've been all around the Bay Area. I've been to San Juan. Yeah, MC Man was tight. I've been to San Juan. I've been to Hayward. I've been to Frisco, Redwood City, Little Mexico. I've been all over. Yeah, Woody from Antioch, the Yorktown. Well, Speedy Loke, he was from Dakota, out there in Union City. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I've been on this for an hour. I'm gonna cut it short because I don't know. This thing cut me off for a little bit, but my nephew is Little Speedy Loke. It's Little Speedy Loke's son. I'm curious, but like I was saying, did anybody watch the videos I did the other day called the Pachuco History of Oakland? I talked about the history of the Zoo Shooters and the Zoo Suit riots and Pachucos in Oakland. Pretty good video. It gives you kind of a kind of an understanding of the early days of Mexican gangs in Oakland and how far back they go in Oakland. They go back to the 1940s. Okay, cool. Glad he liked it. But actually, Pachuco gangs, they were in every hood in Dakota and Hayward and San Jose, Frisco. They were everywhere. In Richmond. Those gangs were all over the place at that time in the 40s and 50s. You know? That's the old school. But like I was saying, it's been an hour. I got to get off this. Be on the lookout for the next one. I usually do them on Saturdays or Sundays. I usually post them on my community thing. And usually I let you know when I'm going to go live. Like I did today. I posted it. So be on the lookout. And, like my videos. Keep supporting. Like my Instagram page, Oakland Latinos United. Like my Facebook page, Oakland Latinos United. And, yeah. Glad you guys joined. Glad I got to talk to you guys. Glad you guys make this live feed worth doing. One love to the little homie out there asking me crazy questions in Yuba County. One love to the homegirl, Joanna, from the town. And to the homie, Mr. Juan Prince. To Juan Prince, Thank you guys for joining me. And I will see you guys next weekend. I'm going to try to do a video this week of something. But be safe and take care. Stay ground. Chicano power. Power to the people. Mexica Tiawi. Late.